You're a plague doctor. You wake up gasping. Your lungs burn. The year is 1665, and London is dying around you. You stumble to your window. The streets below are lined with bodies. Red crosses mark every third house. Lord, have mercy on us. You whisper it, but you don't believe it anymore. Your name is Dr. Samuel Hartwell. You're one of the few physicians still in the city. Everyone else fled weeks ago, and you just made a terrible mistake. Last night, you accepted payment from a nobleman to visit his daughter. The girl is sick, probably plague. You knew it. You took the money anyway. £50, enough to survive another month. But this morning, the nobleman's servant arrived at your door with a different message. His master didn't send money. He sent a warning. The girl died at midnight. You're now the last person who touched her alive. You have maybe 3 days before symptoms appear, maybe less. You know what comes next because you've watched it happen 100 times. The fever starts in your chest, then the buboes, those horrible black swellings in your neck and groin, then the bleeding, then the smell, then death. But here's what you didn't expect. You don't feel afraid for yourself. You feel something worse. You feel responsible. Because you're not just a plague doctor. You're the only plague doctor. The one person in this dying city who still believes he can save lives. The one person people still trust, even though nothing you do actually works. Your medical bag sits by the door. Inside are leeches, lancets, and bottles of mercury. You have powdered emeralds. You have unicorn horn, or what merchants claim is unicorn horn. You have a wooden cane you use to examine patients without touching them directly. None of it helps. You know this. Deep down, you know it absolutely. The treatments are theater. The diagnoses are guesses. You're not a doctor. You're a performer in a plague costume, and the audience is dying. Yet people still call for you. This morning, before you learned the girl was dead, 3 separate families sent messengers, each one begging you to visit, each one offering more money than the last. A baker's wife with black fingers, a child with a fever that won't break, an old merchant who's been coughing blood into silk handkerchiefs. You could visit them all today. You could earn enough to live comfortably for 6 months. You could survive this plague, or you could stay home. If you stay home, you won't expose yourself further. You won't carry the sickness deeper into the city. You won't waste more time with treatments that don't work. You'll sit in your apartment, wait for your symptoms, and die quietly. That's the choice that's forming in your mind right now. But then you hear the knock. It's not a servant this time, it's a woman. She's standing in your doorway, and she's holding something wrapped in cloth. Her face is covered, but you can see her eyes. They're desperate. "Dr. Hartwell," she says, "I know you're busy. I know the risk. But my son, he's only 6 years old. He's been sick for 2 days. I don't have much money, but I have this." She unwraps the cloth. Inside is a small wooden carving, a horse. It's beautiful, clearly handmade with care, clearly precious to someone. "My husband made this before he died," she says. "Before the plague took him, before it took our home, before it took everything." She's offering you a dead man's last work. You realize in that moment that this isn't about medicine anymore. It was never about medicine. It's about witness. It's about someone showing up when everyone else is gone. It's about a 6-year-old boy knowing that someone tried. You take the carving. You tell her you'll come. This is what being a plague doctor actually means in 1665. It's not about cure. It's about presence. It's about walking into houses where death is already waiting and refusing to pretend you're not terrified. You gather your bag. You put on your mask, the long, beaked thing filled with dried flowers and herbs, designed to filter the corrupt air. You put on your gloves, your coat, your hat. You become the figure that children fear and adults desperately need. The walk to her house takes 20 minutes. The streets are worse than yesterday. There's a corpse in the gutter that wasn't there this morning. Someone has painted another red cross on a door while you were asleep. When you arrive, the boy is in an upstairs room. His fever is high. His skin is already darkening in patches. You've seen this presentation before. You know what comes next. You perform your examination. You ask the standard questions. You take out your lancet and bleed him slightly, the theory being that releasing bad blood might help. You give him a poultice made from crushed emeralds and rose oil. You tell his mother to keep him warm. to give him wine mixed with herbs, to pray. None of it will save him. But as you're leaving, the boy asks you something. "Will I die, doctor?" You stop. You could lie. You could tell him he'll recover. You could perform the false comfort that physicians have been trained to deliver for centuries. Instead, you tell him the truth. "I don't know," you say, "but your mother loves you very much, and I came here to help you. That matters." The boy nods. He seems satisfied with this answer in a way that no lie could have satisfied him. Over the next 3 days, you visit 5 more patients. The baker's wife, the child with the fever, the merchant, 2 others who send messengers. You treat them all with the same useless medicines. You speak with them about their lives. You listen to their fears. And on the 4th day, you develop a fever. It starts exactly as you expected, in your chest. A tightness, a burning. By evening, you can feel the swelling beginning in your neck. You know the timeline now. 2 more days, maybe 3, before the bleeding starts. Maybe a week before the end. You should be terrified, but you're not, because something shifted during those house visits. Something about the act of showing up, of being present with people in their worst moment, changed what fear means to you. You're not afraid of death anymore. You're afraid of not mattering, and you've already proven that you matter. You write letters to each family you visited, to the other physicians who fled the city, to the Lord Mayor. In these letters, you document what you've observed. You record which treatments seem to help even slightly. You describe the progression of the disease. You note which patients survived and which didn't. You're creating a record. You're building something that might outlive you. This is what being a plague doctor really means. It's not about having the answers. It's about asking the right questions. It's about showing up when everyone else is gone. It's about documenting truth even when the truth is that you don't know anything. By the time your symptoms reach their peak, you've accepted something fundamental. You were always going to die in this city. Everyone was. The plague didn't change that. It only made the timeline visible. What matters is what you do with the time you have left. You spend it visiting patients until you physically can't walk anymore. You spend it writing observations. You spend it teaching a younger physician who arrived in the city, a man who was also willing to stay. Everything you've learned. You spend it being a plague doctor, and when you finally die, 3 weeks later, the wooden horse carving is still on your desk. The boy who gave it to you, the one with the fever, is still alive. Against all odds, against all logic, still alive. You never knew why he survived, and so many others didn't. The mystery will die with you. But you know this. You showed up. You tried. You cared when caring seemed pointless. That's all a plague doctor can ever do. That's all anyone can ever do.